Hello and welcome to the Whose Turn Is It Anyway, a podcast all about our gaming group and of course board games. It's me, Dan. I am your first player and it's my last first player time. I've had such a good time. It's been fun. And I'm joined with Japles. I call him Japles. Hey Japles.
Hello mate.
And Bex.
Hey.
And today we are going to talk about board game classics and their influences. But first, how are we all doing?
Very good.
Yeah, I finished work today, so I am happy as happy can be.
Woo!
Yay!
As in you finished ready for our Christmas
Ready for
period.
Christmas, yeah.
Which is going to be weird for our listeners because this will be released in January.
Well,
So hope you had
Happy
a
New
good
Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm back at work now. I'm miserable. No, I'm not miserable.
Yeah.
No, it's just that lovely feeling of I've never
Yeah.
had a Christmas completely off because of
Have you
doing
not?
my old role. Never, ever, ever.
No, shift
Never,
working,
ever,
isn't it?
ever. Yeah, welcome to shift work in the NHS. But this year, in my new job role, I'm having annual leave, and it's just
It's just for me, that period of when you break up, and I've always said this, I always prefer actually the days leading up to Christmas Day and having that time off than the time off afterwards. And I don't know why, but I quite like the fact that the kids are off school and you get to do all the fun lead up and build up things to Christmas. And that's the bit I usually miss if I'm working all the way up to like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like, oh, it's Christmas. Yeah, it's Christmas. Done. Oh, bye. And it's over. It's like done and over before you've had a chance to get in the groove. So, yeah.
So with you both, if anybody just goes up to you and says, "Oh, what are you doing for the festive period?" you just go, "Fuck all!"
yeah, that's legit. Yeah, and I'm really excited about that. I'm really looking forward to just getting up and doing nothing. Hopefully, me and Curly will play some board games or watch some telly and just totally chill out.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really nice. We've been playing a lot of BGA, so we could just watch something on TV that we already know, like I don't know, proper classics like Harry Potter maybe. But play whatever, a game at the same time. It's just
it's
nice. Yeah.
It's nice.
Do you know what? That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Should we do the thing?
It's always ready to do the thing.
All right, let's do the thing.
Let's do the thing.
Let's do the thing. Well, let's talk about Hex. Bex, let's start with you. What's been going down?
Well, I haven't played anything new recently, so I thought I'd talk about when I got to play Quadropolis. So I didn't actually play my copy, but got it off of. I'm counting that as getting it off my shelf of shame because I have played it, even though it's not my actual copy.
I don't
so
think that
that's
matters.
fine.
That counts.
No,
That totally counts.
Yeah.
It was Adrian's copy, and he showed me how to play, and I was really surprised actually. Really liked it. Kind of it reminded me a little bit of almost like a roll and write. So you've got like objectives you got to try and get. You can pick from a dwindling number of things. You can't pick something on the same line as someone else picked. So you spend quite a lot of it going, don't pick that one. Don't pick. Oh, they picked it. Damn it! I need to rethink my whole strategy, which is my life. Which is what happens. I don't usually have backup plans. I just go.
This is because of your husband.
Yeah, I know.
Stop being efficient.
But yeah, it was really good. You're basically building a city townscape. It reminded me a little bit like SimCity, sort of.
Okay,
You're going to
yeah,
decide
cool.
where you're putting your thing. There's kind of five numbers, 5 sections, I guess, on your map. I think it's 5. And there's in each little section, there's also the numbers 1 to 5. So you can put a thing that's on the first row, or let's say the second row. You can either put that in any of quadrant 2 or any number 2 thingies in a quadrant. So you've got like a small amount of places you can put a thing. So you might decide to put parks next to high-rise flats, or I think there's ports involved. I didn't go down the port line, but however many of something you've got, that kind of gets you VP at the end. So you can kind of go down a strategy. And for a start, I was just, whatever, picking any old random thing because you don't really know your first game, do you?
Yeah.
And it was really, I would definitely play it again. Nice pieces as well.
I played it a long time ago.
Yeah,
I can't remember much about it now. But I did enjoy it when I played it. But I find it's quite similar to kind of all like Suburbia kind of scratches the same kind of itch.
I've never played that.
I think I'd probably say slightly heavier, but not much. Where this is a city builder with hex tiles, and it's especially the new version is very pretty. Like the deluxe edition of it's very pretty. If you can get a copy, I think it's massively out of print. I think people saw the second-hand copies, but it's really nice. It's a lovely game.
Yeah, I will play that again. I don't think it's necessarily Curly's thing.
Why do you think that? Is it not
Well,
heavy enough for him? Even though it's not really that
There
way.
is strategy.
Yeah.
So it's not. There's no luck. There's no dice rolling. There's none of that. Other than, like I said, someone can block the thing you wanted, but that's not luck, is it? It's just picking stuff. It made me think it's a bit puzzly for him, I think.
He's not a big fan of the puzzle, is he?
No. I want to say because he doesn't generally win them. I'm only saying that because he's not here.
Hold on. That's bullshit.
Where is he from? Oh, I didn't realise he's from Lancashire.
I'm from Bolton.
From Bolton!
No, he prefers the heavy strategies because he likes the working out and the combo-y thing. There's no kind of combos with this.
Is it quite tactical? So you're reacting to situations all the time, but
that's not how I played it, which is maybe why I lost. I don't know. You're kind of building your tableau. You're building your thing, and the only kind of interaction you have with people is if they pick something from the line you wanted and you can't. Go for a different one. Yeah. So, do you roll a dice? Oh, I'm wondering now. No, I don't think you do.
No.
I don't think you do. You pick a number. So I think there's no... This makes this better, that then makes that better. Other than picking the right kind of landscape, go for... I think high rise next to parks is a good combo. But it's not like, I do this, then that springs off of that, and then that's like, in the way that Curly likes playing.
Fair enough.
But I liked it. It's good.
Nice.
Give it a whirl.
So thanks to Adrian for teaching that.
You've been waiting for him to do that a long time, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not his fault. I hadn't said, Adrian, will you teach this, please?
Japles, what have you been up to? What have you been playing?
No, I've been playing all sorts of stuff. I was actually going to talk about a game I don't think I've talked about on the podcast before. I never have. I can't remember. So maybe a good one to talk about, which is a game called Franchise.
Oh, I think you'll find out you mentioned that in episode 4. No, I'm joking.
No, that's too many bones.
Of course.
You picked the wrong one there, mate. He's got that episode literally.
So it's locked in.
The others I don't know. Can't remember. No, Franchise. So Franchise is a game I've had for a good 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 years. And it's a game that's pretty much all about spreading over America. It's like Pandemic. But the opposite. You want to spread all the franchises all over America. So the board is absolutely bonkers. It's an Ian O'Toole design board, but you look at the map of the US, and you've got all the different cities and landmarks, LA, Chicago, New York, all that kind of stuff. And then in between them all, there's like roads and routes. And it's just
sounds like Ticket to Ride currently.
It does sound it, but it's bonkers to look at. I'll show you after the podcast, just to show you what I mean. But so you've kind of got 5 different routes connecting all these different areas, and they vary in degree of cost that you would travel across those routes. So you've got like the simple dotted lines, which will be like free to expand across, and all the way up to a big purple or pinky thick road, which costs like $8 to expand. And when you look at it, it's like, oh my god, like this thing is an assault on the eyes. But weirdly, it all kind of makes sense. So the premise of the game is that you start in one of these towns in America, and you're like representing a franchise of, a burger chain or a laundromat or a car garage or whatever it is. So how it plays is on your turn, you'll gain income depending on how many cities you're in, and the more cities you're in, the more obviously income you're going to get. Bit of cash, and then you will expand to one of the neighbouring towns or cities that you have presence in, and depending on the routes you take or the different lines, it will depend on how much money you spend to basically expand into those areas. And then you can kind of, if you've got presence in any of the cities, you can increase your market share and actually increase the amount of, they look like little wooden houses, your franchises that are in that cities. You can kind of expand your influence, but doing that means you end up kind of earning less money, which is counterintuitive.
So is it like a business economical simulator?
A little bit.
Because this is right up my street.
Yeah, a little bit.
It sounds really good.
I
don't think I like that sort of thing.
But it's not really complicated. It's very kind of straightforward.
Yeah.
So you can expand, and the reason why you want to expand like your market share in a city is because you want to score that city. So when you've got the majority, and some of the cities are big and they've got like 7 slots on there where the houses would go. So if you've got 4 of those in your colour, you'll score that because you've got majority. So obviously you've got other players in there. They're trying to jostling for majority. They'll want to score that city. So all the cities are different sizes, like 8 all the way down to 2. So some are really quick and easy. Some are a lot more difficult. Obviously the bigger cities will give you more income, and you're kind of spreading around like that. So once you kind of decided, I want to expand in the cities you're already in, you put your franchise on the marker that you've expanded to, which could be wherever, And then you would score those cities if you had got a majority. And if the region those cities are in and all the towns are filled up as well, you'd score that region. And it's very clever. And I'm not going to go into the intricacies of it because otherwise I'd be doing a rules teach. But it's quite clever. On some cities you want to be in, but you don't want to score them. Because if you've got like 3 franchises on a city and the other player has the majority, they have to leave just one of theirs in. And you get to leave all of yours in. Into that space, which means you can more likely to score the region than you would the city, and that might be more points for you. It's just clever.
Does it play at 2-player, or is it?
It plays at 2, yeah.
Okay.
I think 2 or 3 players. You section off a part of the board. You just put like tokens on that says no go.
Yeah.
So it just makes the board smaller. But 4 players, pretty much where it's at. You want all of the board. You want.
Yeah,
The flexibility of just kind of getting in each other's spaces, and the blocking is actually clever because there's certain spots on the board that you know if you go there, no one can put a franchise in that location. You're like, haha, got to go around, and sometimes that's a more expensive route they have to take and have to earn a lot more money. But it's quite quick, plays in like 90 minutes, and it's, I don't know, I just think it's quite clever for what it's doing. It kind of gives that Ticket to Ride-y feel, that kind of style game. But it's just a little bit more to it that, and turns are really quick. It's like, I'm going to do this, do that, let's pay that money, go, done, you'll go.
I always say that like my itch beyond Ticket to Ride, but to give you the same flavour, has always been Brass.
Yes.
But then I think the learning curve between Ticket to Ride and Brass is quite high.
Yeah, it's a big jump.
So would you say franchise sort of fits in the middle somewhere?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I'd have to have a game of it at some point. But yeah, I just played it with Josh because kind of training him up for Christmas Eve. We have our Christmas Eve games. And I talked about the gig, didn't I, last time?
I really want to play that.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
And that will be a feature that our Christmas Eve little games. But I just thought it might be nice to play a few more. So franchise, nice. I like it. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but it's nice. It's a good game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really good.
Nice.
What about you, mate?
It's December, which obviously you'll be hearing this in January, but December is like the busiest month for me ever, so I don't get to sort of cram too much in. But on my table has been nothing but Stonemaier Games. I've been playing, I played Wingspan today with the wife, and we've had a couple of games of Tapestry as well, but it's been mainly nothing but Stonemaier stuff. And you know, you always want a safe bet with Stonemaier Games stuff, and it's good stuff. And I've been following their stuff since the very beginning, since Viticulture, and kind of seen how big that company has kind of grown, but in a respectful and in a good way. And I'm always looking at their newsletter to see what's kind of next.
Yeah.
I think with Wingspan, I think they're just churning out that bad boy, as it's a massive
milking that bird, aren't
they? They are.
But it's so good.
They're milking the
It's
cow
so
dry,
good.
but it is
good.
good. And, you know, and you got to do is, you know, if they release a Wingspan expansion, I know that another one is coming. You know, it is a cash machine for them. You know, they're just going to sell and sell and sell and sell.
Yeah.
But it
It
is
adds
good.
variety to the game,
it does add
doesn't it?
variety, yeah. And when you can just take Wingspan and you see how much it's changed in terms of how many other like mechanics they've added into the game, but not overbearing.
Yeah.
So they had like the game end mechanics, the round end mechanics, and then they added the nectar, and it's nothing that's too much to teach. At base level.
I still haven't played the nectar. What was
not?
the nectar on? Oceania, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, sorry.
Asia.
No.
Oceania.
It is Oceania. Yeah, Oceania. Yeah, it is Oceania.
Yeah, no, I've not played that one.
Yeah, because
It
Europe was the
really
first one.
changes it up.
It does change it.
I bought it, and then I just never played it. And I
It becomes a
sold
bit
anyway.
more, not point salady, because I think that's not right. But it's not like that. But your score tends to increase, and you'd be very unlucky if you got something kind of below 80. I think with the game with that in there.
That's made better.
I was saying that today. My score was only just 81. So
Yeah.
I think if you get I think most of the games now I've played tend to be that the players tend to get over 80, or if they have a really good game, over 100.
I just get excited by the birds and just pick the ones I like. I can't help it.
That's pretty.
This
got
bird
nothing
gives
to do
me
with my
no
strategy.
points.
Yeah.
I know, but that's.
It's the opposite end of my strategy, but it looks great.
I don't have a strategy when I'm playing that game.
Do
I'm
you
just
not?
picking
It's
the
quite
birds.
chill though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, it's chill, yeah.
I like it because it's just. oh, that'll look nice there.
Yeah.
That goes with this. Oh, lovely.
So have you played the other like Stonemaier games, the ones that we don't talk about a lot? We obviously talk about Wingspan, we talk about Tapestry.
Euphoria?
Yeah, that's one that springs to my mind.
So, well, that's the first one that came out. That was the first one that was Kickstarter.
Do you own that one?
No. I played it once, and it's okay.
Okay.
But it's nothing groundbreaking. But it's this early
job,
stuff,
isn't
it? But it's still good, and people do still like it, and it's got a place.
Yeah.
But it's not one that I've really kind of loved or anything. But then the major one after that was Scythe.
Yeah.
And I love Scythe. It doesn't get to the table that often.
Mine doesn't either.
But it is good. And when I first played it. And when I first played it, I put on social media, on Twitter, that I didn't understand the hype. And Jamie, you saw it, didn't you, love? But other than that, the game is very, very good, and it plays nice. And but it mixes so many different things in there. And to be honest, it's like chuck these ingredients into a bowl, mix it up, and hope for the best. And what comes out is a lovely, nice, fluffy cake. It's it's really nice.
Yeah.
You've got resource management, you've got area control, you've got a good theme in there, and it all blends together really nicely.
So Curly says I've played Scythe. I just don't remember it at all.
Oh, well,
I really want to.
I don't live with you guys, so I don't know.
I've definitely never played it. Secretly.
No, you haven't.
Secretly in the spare room.
I don't recall you playing.
Peeping out of the cupboard.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have. I've definitely never played it at my
Curly's
house.
very good at Scythe.
Of course he
he's
is.
very
Dan,
good
of
at
course
Scythe.
he is.
And I've played a couple of games with him, and it's over in 90 minutes. It's like, wow, that was quick.
Lol.
Lol.
Well, she was in other things.
But again, another game that's been complemented very well with its expansions.
I agree with you.
With the Winds Gambit one, with the airships, and the Fenris, with adding the 2 extra factions in there.
It's great.
It's great, yeah. Stonemaier Games, I can't find them really, really, really good. And Tapestry, although we've mentioned it before, Tapestry is one of my favourite games.
When did that get released?
Tapestry. I'm guessing 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just before COVID.
Something really, really stopped me from wanting to play that. And I don't know why. I think it was the box.
Yeah, you
said
that
before, yeah, the box.
And I just had absolutely no interest.
It's a Civ game that doesn't play like a Civ game.
Yeah, when I saw that kind of map and I was like, oh, God, no, not interested.
It's really
But
good.
it's really good. But I really like it. I really like it. And I don't think I realised it was a Stonemaier game. Maybe if I had,
you might have given
maybe
it a fair
I would have
shake.
given it more. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a succession track.
Yeah.
I'm all over it. I'm all over it. And if there's more than
Move
one...
up a track and get something.
Oh,
yes,
please. What, if I move up this one, then it ties in with the next one on my
but-
next turn. Chaining!
And that's why I'm no good, because I can't build that into my thought process.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm getting better at it. I am getting better
the
at
more
it.
games you play of Tapestry, the more it just goes, if I can... You have to know. And even now, I've played hundreds against Tapestry. Yeah, I'm not... Sometimes I have a real stinker. Sometimes it goes really well. Like that game that you had on BGA.
Oh, mate.
I had a cracking score.
At 400 and whatever. I was like, first time I broke 400, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Won't happen again for a while.
Someone online posted, like, they said they're like a perfect game I saw the other day. I think someone put it on either on X, formerly known as Twitter, or Facebook, where they said they're like a 700-point game.
700.
It's like mad.
Holy moly.
I don't know how many the player count was. And it was on BGA as well, so it was only base game. It's mad.
Must be a perfect combination
Mad.
of cards and stuff.
It's a shame they're not bringing any more content out for Tapestry, because I really do have a love for it.
I think it's probably done though.
I think it is.
I think,
but
you know,
I'd like to think that they were going to do not a religious track. That's you're going in down a territory that you might upset a few people. But I was thinking maybe a spiritual track of some kind.
Yeah.
And that could just add another track in there. I don't know. I'm
How
very
many
cold.
tracks do you want?
I love tracks.
6 apparently.
Yeah, I want 6 tracks. I love
tracks.
tracks.
And I want it in a big hexagon map.
Yes.
All the tracks are on each side.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
God, that'd be great.
Yeah,
that would be great. So today's main event is to talk about board game classics and their influences. Let's have a trip down memory lane, shall we?
Great.
Now, this is great. This is the only episode that I would say that obviously that I'm first player on, that the M word is not banned. You may say the M word. and I reckon it will get mentioned a few times. I mean, it should do. You're looking at me like
Mahjong?
it might get mentioned.
No,
or
it's probably
don't mention it.
It will get mentioned.
Don't ever mention that.
If you ask anybody like what game they played as a child,
yeah,
and let's all face it, we all probably really enjoyed this game as a child.
I think for me, games were even more special.
I just realised you said Mahjong. Yeah.
Yeah, games were more special because I do have sisters, older sisters, but they're quite a lot older, like 20 years older.
Yeah.
So games for me were when they would bring their children round, which was not a rare occurrence, but it wasn't like a every weekend thing.
Yeah.
So for me to actually get to play a game with family was a big deal. So we did play Monopoly and we did like it.
Yeah.
We did.
I'm not sitting here going, I mean, would I play Monopoly now? No. Not at all.
When any of us mention the word, can you, like, in post, can you go put a like that or something? There's another balls of steel. There's another sound effect of mine. So. Yeah, you know. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I played it and I enjoyed it, and yeah, I spent many fun hours playing that. But one of my more favourite ones, I have to say, was Guess Who. I loved Guess Who, and they're both looking at me now like, get out.
No.
I don't think I ever liked Guess Who.
It had a place.
So I liked it.
It had a place.
No, I liked
but
it.
it
Oh.
I'm joking.
It's not Rummy Cub.
Oh, get on, I like Rummy Club.
Don't tell that to Curly.
Great game. Great game.
I'm only joking, back. So I played lots of Guess Who.
I loved Guess Who, and I came up with totally the biggest cheats question ever.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to this.
Do they have an E in their name?
That's a good one.
Have you broke Guess Who?
Oh yeah, I broke Guess Who.
How
when
many
I was
names
a kid.
does not have an E?
I always used to play with was it the red or the blue board? I don't know. I picked one of them anyway, and I actually moved the people around. So because I would always ask that question to unsuspecting people, and then it got banned. Just saying.
And you can only do it once, can't you?
It's now in the official errata. We can't say.
So I actually put one of the people in, so I knew which exactly, like the first like layer and a half or whatever. You could go chunk chunk straight down because they haven't got easy, whatever.
You know what I would do playing against you is I'd invest in a label maker and I'd rename everybody.
Yeah.
Aaron.
I reckon now, if you showed me
Jonathan?
any of the pictures of the people, I could still tell you their
You want a
names.
Guess Who quiz?
We totally could.
We should have done this on the
that.
Christmas quiz. We
should
could have
done
gone
that.
pictures of
Oh,
the Guess Who.
I reckon-
That would have been good, actually. That would have
I
been
probably
good.
could have. I spent enough time
Bill!
with that game.
We can do it for this year's.
Chris.
Chris wasn't one.
Was it not?
I
No, it
don't
wasn't.
think so.
Bill?
Yeah, Egghead Bill.
Egghead
Egghead.
Bill.
Bill was bald and he had a head the shape
wrong
of
with
an
you
egg.
having a
Nothing
bowl
you
of
haven't.
There was a
got-
Tom, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom had a big.
Was there a
nose.
Percy?
Yes, I believe there was. Eric had a sailor's hat.
Yes.
Eric had a sailor's hat.
I'm keeping this content in, by the way.
Was there a
this is
Percy?
gold.
I need to look this up.
I don't think there was a Percy.
Guess Who chat. This is really...
But yeah, I loved Guess Who. Another one of my favourites was Chinese checkers.
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
that. And
That's
you played
with
it
the-
in the box.
It's like a star,
A
isn't
star,
it? Six-pointed
yeah.
star.
Yeah,
I don't know, I never learned how to play it.
And I had the same tactic for that every time as well. You make a
What's
nice.
that? E. How
Yeah. Form my pieces in an E formation.
You made
And
a
a tap.
line right down the centre, and then you could hop all the way through every time.
Nice.
See, it sounds like you've got these old games figured out.
I
Back.
did, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
still, it's all gone
Yeah.
wrong from now.
Got it all
hasn't
figured out.
Yeah.
So let's go around the table. Japles, let's start with you.
All right.
What is your first ever board game memory?
I think my first ever board game memory, I say aside from Monopoly, is Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs. Right, so this is an old game from Waddington's, and I can remember the TV advert now, sitting on my 4-channel TV with no remote control, that we used to have to go and press the buttons to change.
Absolutely.
Weirdly, side story, that television, the channel selecting buttons acted like a calculator, because if you wanted channel 3, you press 1 and 2 at the same time, and
No.
channel 3 would come on. Mind blowing.
Wow.
When we figured that, me and my brother,
That is crazy.
we was like, this is amazing. And we thought, I bet,
But you could only do that for 4.
no, I say,
But you could only do that for Channel 3.
yeah, but then we thought, well, let's try channel 4, put 1 and 3 in there, didn't we? Only worked for 3. I don't know why. Must be the circuitry.
The magic.
So I remember the
inside.
game, but I never
Yes.
played it.
So
Never
basically, the game is you control your team of explorers. They all look like Indiana Jonesy kind of type dudes, and the map is a hexagon map. And actually, for the time, there's a lot of plastic in it. You had a volcano at one end, and you had a temple in another corner with gold coins. And you had these caves on one side with these T-Rexes that live in these caves. And the eyes on the T-Rexes. Well, this is what I remember. If you can pull the picture up, you find the eyes were like painted on really weirdly. So they're like, it's T-Rexes, look really cool. And then you have really wonky eyes.
It looks like it's got googly eyes.
Yeah,
It looks like
stuck on
I've
it.
painted them.
Yeah, he's like, hello, I've got wonky eyes. But what was really cool is a pterodactyl that had like a spring activated like mouth, which you could use to pick the other
Nice,
characters up and move them and
nice,
drop them
like
around to
that.
different things. And then they had a swamp monster in the middle as well, which looked like a weird snake thing. So the idea is that the premise of the game is really simple. You have to go to the temple, you need to grab a coin and bring it home. That's it. And you've got 4 dudes to go off and do it. You can acquire bullets, cards, and guns, which you can shoot.
Dinosaurs have guns, don't they? I remember that from his. Yeah, sure.
They're not the dinosaurs have guns. But
Dinosaurs
shoot the
don't have
dinosaurs.
guns. Rappers do.
Yeah, and you basically shoot the dinosaurs so they go away and scare them off a little bit, just so you can get around. And I mean, the game's Billy Basic. And I had to literally watch a video in preparation for this episode because I couldn't really remember it. I was thinking, I love this game. It's got really strong memories. And
This is amazing. There's a picture on BGG of
Yeah.
Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs of Julian Cortland Smith, who was the maker of the game, and he's in the Earl's Court Trade Fair in London promoting it in 1985. Look that up. That's great.
So there's
amazing.
like a somebody wearing a dinosaur costume, unless it's a real dinosaur, of course.
we'll put a
Well,
link.
it's 1985, so probably.
Yeah,
is.
We'll
could
put a
be,
link
could
to this.
be.
Yeah.
A happy lady wearing a hat, like an Indiana Jones hat, and a guy in a
That's
black leather
amazing.
jacket. That's a good picture.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the
Love
show
that.
notes for that.
Love that.
Yeah, it gives me the feeling like I can remember being around one of our neighbours' house on the street where we grew up, just playing that endless over and over and over and over again, and just I don't know, just being sucked into the world of dinosaurs. Like, it was just cool. Like, there's nothing else like it, and for me it's actually like spurred me on to kind of create my own board games. I mean, they were shit, but create my own board games as a kid. And I used to
exactly
sit
the same.
there with 4 A4 pieces of paper, sellotaped. So it's like
Nice.
like a 2x2 grid.
Yeah.
And I would draw my own spaces, and I'd draw my little worlds for the characters to go, and I'd make my own little meeples out of paper and card or whatever I could get my hands on. And it would be a roll and move, because that's all I knew, right?
Yeah,
It was literally
yeah,
a roll,
yeah.
I'll go back 3 spaces, or oh no, go around the wheel of death. And and so that just some great Sunday afternoons just sitting and drawing board game maps and just colouring them in, and I was so proud. I wish I kept some of them, because I think in my mind they looked amazing.
I did exactly the same.
I think if I look at them now, I'd be like,
I don't think I ever created a board game. I remember trying to create like a Sonic the Hedgehog level.
oh right, you actually designed a level.
Well,
in the game.
I wanted to make like a bit of paper on a wheel, like you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Scroll, like
yeah,
a scroll.
Yeah.
Because I had this racing game that was obviously on like a rolling
with
piece
the-
of paper,
with
and
the
it had a steering wheel,
yeah.
and I
I remember
remember
that.
that, and I
Yeah.
remember that. So I remember trying to create, because I wasn't allowed a computer, and we probably couldn't afford one either, to be
So
honest.
you tried to build Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
I love that.
And that was, I mean, it was definitely crap. It was definitely crap. I mean, I would have made the music while I did the thing. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I don't think I ever tried to create. I mean, probably like Snakes and Ladders or something near Christmas.
I was a
like
little bit more involved. The weight of my game was
Yeah,
at
that
least
was
1.2.
yeah. That was definitely more advanced than mine.
Sonic
for
the
sure.
Hedgehog was my childhood. Oh, that was it. But it was the bass line of the music. It was dum 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 dum. It was just that was it. That was me. This is my jam.
Good times, weren't they?
Oh, it was so
They were
good.
good times. Yeah.
It was getting those 50 rings, and it was getting that big ring at the end.
Oh yeah, that was epic,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Dum 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 dum. Loved it.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I played a lot of board games as a child, and I remember like collecting board games a lot when I was growing up, and I remember, like you said about making your own board game. I remember going to boot sales a lot. Anybody who's international doesn't know what a boot sale is. That was where you go into a random field and people would sell their stuff out of their boots.
It's a sad Sunday afternoon.
It was, but it was so popular in the 80s and 90s. But it was a great place to pick up board games. And I remember picking up my first ever copy of Monopoly, and I remember picking up my first copy of Cluedo. But where I used to live, it was quite secluded, so the only person I could play with was my brother, and at the time he was too young, so I just remember just collecting a lot of board games myself and just running through them on my own, going through them and then really enjoying the artwork or enjoying the pieces. And I even remember making my own car boot sale game. Yes, I made a car boot sale board game.
How better?
And I remember the designing like a 3D paper car, and all of them had a boot. And you could go around to people's boots and buy items to put in your boot.
I love this. It's a tight economy game.
I know. Was it roll and move? Probably. I can't remember, but I remember.
What was it
making that.
called?
I think it was called the boot sale game.
The boot sale.
Yeah, highly original. Of course.
You put a lot of thought into that.
Absolutely.
Didn't you?
I love this.
That's just totally taken me back to, I think, probably our first family board game, which was, I want to say it was called Dingbats.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was like cards, and it was like...
I think you can still get it.
You can, yeah. But it was way too difficult for me. I was very young, didn't have a clue what was going on, really, but really desperately wanted to play. Really wanted to play with, like... I think my mum used to play with my sister. She probably lived with us at the time. And I just so wanted to play this game and know the answers. Like, like when you'd watch your dad do a crossword puzzle and you knew the answers, and it was like, oh, one day I'll know the answers.
I'll be there. I'll get there.
My game for that was Blockbusters.
Yeah.
I had that too.
Yeah. I think was it Milton Bradley that did it? I think it was either all them or Waddingtons. I can't remember, but it was that. I remember getting the whopping wodge of questions and not knowing a single answer to any of these at all. But just going, but this is so cool. Look at these plastic, environmentally friendly pieces. It's so good.
It's a bit like an old version of Trivial Pursuit now. You've got no idea what the answers are. Just none at all.
I always thought that Trivial Pursuit, when I was a kid, was incredibly dull. Just the box itself is not inviting whatsoever. Like a dark blue. It's not inviting. And the only pieces that are quite nice are the pie pieces, the wedge pieces.
The cheese wheel,
and that's about it. But even then, that's a rolling move, and it's just...
It is dull. Let's face it.
It's dull, isn't it, unfortunately?
We still play it at Christmas now at the Curly household, but we don't play it with the board at all. We just take it in turns, asking each other questions and just scoring it down, and that just solves all the nonsense.
Yeah,
we played. It's not a historical one. Just so you know, our show actually bought Outsmarted, which is a quiz game.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
And very kind of Trivial Pursuit-esque, but it's all kind of done on an app, so the questions are always updated. So you don't have these cards that are suddenly they're out of date as soon as you print them, aren't they? And that's quite good because kids can have their kid-friendly ones, and you can have the hard adult ask questions, and they can play. But it's the same sort of vibe. You go around doing different things. But
like Peter Griffin, say the word what. Now I want to say who. Fantastic Four, steak, small amount of peas. Is it what? Love that episode. Cool. Okay, so
Mousetrap. Mousetrap. That was probably one of my earliest.
Do you know what? I think actually, now that you've mentioned it, I think that was the first board game that was ever
might have been
bought for
mine,
me. At the age of 4.
It was just as much fun creating the thing as it was
playing the game.
Oh, it was all about building the trap one. Building that, and then they re-released it in the early 2000s.
And the one with the toilet on the top of it? Yeah, it sounds good.
Absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, it's not as good.
Nowhere near as good.
Well, I got it for Caitlin when she was about 3 or 4. Yeah. And I went, brilliant, Mousetrap. Are you going to... Oh, we were for such a treat, Caitlin. And I did the same. We got it out and went, I don't remember there being a toilet on the top.
They've redone it, and it's like...
I think they've gone back, actually, and
I think they have gone back, And it was a great game. Yeah. Great game.
Kerplunk, another good one.
Yes, Kerplunk.
Not as good as Mousetrap.
I like just the noise of the marbles when they all come down. It's like, you're not meant to do that, but it was just very therapeutic, that noise. Yeah. But yeah, that's another classic.
Go on, you've got a question, haven't you, Dan?
Let's do it. Which board game did you play that made you want to try more? What was the kind of like your version of a gateway game of like today's kind of games? What would be your childhood gateway game?
Me? You?
Yeah, go for it, Jacob.
Yeah, I think for me, there's one Christmas that sticks out, and it's the obvious answer. But me and my brother, we got a board game each. I got HeroQuest, and he got Bloodbowl.
Oof,
which
nice.
I would say Bloodbowl especially is not entry level.
No.
Bloodbowl's got quite a bit of heft to it. Do you like tables with numbers and references?
Yeah.
Which is a game for you. But he adored that game. I can just remember his face. He was like, oh, it's amazing. And then I had the same with HeroQuest, which is easier to play, a lot easier. And I don't know, I just remember that Christmas being quite special. And every day, like that 2 weeks or whatever we had off school, every day we played both of them. And obviously Blood Bowl at the beginning would be a bit of a crap fest because we're like trying to learn it and go, what the hell's going on? But we got there.
Yeah.
And we got there, and he was a bit older, so it kind of helped. But I think that whole HeroQuest thing for me then led me on to what else is there? And that kind of led me into Space Crusade, which was basically HeroQuest but in space. But it had a little bit more oomph to it. And again, this is another one I researched because I needed to just remind myself how Space Crusade worked. And you kind of have these 4 square tiles, and you have this cross section of walls with doors on, and you basically set in a Warhammer 40k universe, which I knew nothing of at the time. And you pick your squad. I think it was Blood Angels, Ultramarines, and Imperial Fist. The red, blue, and yellow. And they all look the same, but they've all got different deck of cards that you can load out your team. And I think you would pick your team and go, right, I'll have one heavy weapons dude, I'll have a dude with a power glove and sword, and some guys with, I think they're called bolters, were there or something? They're like the little guns with the little swords in the end, or something like that. And then you just send them onto the ship, and it's a bit like Aliens, where you've got these blips that like your motion trackers that are moving around. You don't know what they are, but they're kind of moving, and as soon as they get in your line of sight, they flip over, and then suddenly it's like, oh my god, it's a Dreadnought, or it's a Gretchen, or something else I can't remember.
So I never played the board game, but I played I say I never played it. I played the Amiga version of Space Crusade.
Oh yeah.
And that was how I got into Space Crusade. It was fantastic.
It's great.
I never played HeroQuest growing up at all. I wish I did, but it wasn't ever sort of like pushed on me. I never was forced on me. I never got bought it or anything. So I didn't get that experience. But Space Crusade, I got it on the Amiga and thought it was absolutely fantastic, right up my street.
Yeah, I think if I had to play them again, like HeroQuest or Space Crusade, I'd play Space Crusade, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think it's got a bit more about it than HeroQuest.
Yeah. But then HeroQuest got recently, obviously, crowdfunded again, and people got all over it.
The nostalgia kick, didn't it, really?
It was, yeah. I mean, I always say, like, if you go and take the classic Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
I am 37 years old. I have bought Super Mario Bros. In
every form.
8 or 9 different formats since I was a child, and the reason why I've done that is because I want the nostalgia hit, and I want the experience of how I had it when I first played it when I was 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I'll never get that feeling ever again. Yeah. Even though I'm like, they've just released it as a Game and Watch on its own. But you know what? I get it, and I'm playing. I'm like, it's not hitting. It's not hitting. Yeah, it's nice, but it's not doing it. No. It's just not. It'll never do it. Never do it. And I think, like things like HeroQuest like that, and Space Crusade. I think if I went back and played it, it would just not have the same feel.
Well, we've kind of like evolved with our gameplay, and the games have evolved, haven't they? So I think if you ever go back, and I've not played HeroQuest since, but I know some people in the group have gone back and played it. And I went, oh my god, what is this? And I think it is really just riding on that nostalgia wave. And if you're going back to those games, just to go, you know what, we used to play this. We understand it's a bit chonky around the edges, and it's a bit a bit iffy in game design in our standards today.
It's just
but
not
it's fine.
refined, is it? It's
No,
not refined.
it's like watching an old film, and the special effects are absolutely like shite.
But then it's respecting it for its time.
Exactly.
Isn't it?
And I think you need to do that. I think it's kind of like, I get it. It's not the best. It's
Yeah.
not the greatest. Did we have fun? Or if you can enter into the spirit of it and go, just have a bit of a laugh,
Yeah.
then fair enough,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I think most of the games that I played as a child were things that were quite interactive, like Pictionary, Articulate, but I was a bit older then.
Yeah.
So it's about shouting out the quickest, being the quickest with a thing. And I'm not bad at that, as bad as I am at normal games. So I think I still have a massive soft spot for those kind of party games where it's about describe the thing to that person, get them to do a silly, hum a tune and get someone to guess it.
Yeah.
Like, I still love that.
They're still good games,
I
aren't
still
they?
love that because I'm not too bad at it
Yeah.
comparatively. So those Articulate, those kind of,
I love Articulate, even today. I still play
Brilliant. It's
Articulate.
just-
Never played it.
oh, it's brilliant.
It's just a describing game, isn't
Yeah.
it?
And if you can get on like a level with someone, it's just brilliant.
Yeah, you say
It's
one
just
word
brilliant.
and they go like, Bugs Bunny. Like, yes, next. All right.
And everyone else is
yeah.
like, how did you
It's like,
get them to
what?
say-" Yeah, you just get into like you can get into like a beautiful little golden
That was me and my
zone.
brother. Like, we...
Yeah.
Like a hive mind. Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of, I think because to me, and maybe this is what I'm searching for when I play games, which is why I like playing in groups, right? Like why solo games just aren't interesting to me necessarily. I think it's because of that excitement of having people round, having friends. I don't mean that to be like, oh, look, I've got no friends, but that excitement, that excitement of having people round. This is an occasion. Maybe the kind of the showing off a little bit as a kid, that kind of thing. And I think that's still really important to me when I'm playing games. Is people are together and we're having fun. It might be difficult, and you probably won't win. You know who's going to win. You know how you can see how this game's going to unfold. But you're all together and you're having fun, which is I think why I disengage so quickly. If there's big gaps between turns, people aren't really engaged with what's happening. They're just being very much, this is my thing, nothing else matters. That doesn't interest me as much because it's not the occasion like it was when you were a kid.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes perfect sense. For me, playing games that I wanted to sort of dive in more, I think it has to be Monopoly. I remember being absolutely obsessed with Monopoly, and thinking that these mechanics of going around a board and collecting properties and trying mastering the craft of the game was fascinating to me when I was a kid. And people always say nowadays, it's like, oh yeah, like you play Monopoly, is that what you do for your hobby? And I'm like, yeah, mate, well done. But I'm like, no, I wouldn't even touch it, but I did.
But then you sound really snobby when you go, I don't mean you, but I mean when one says, oh, I don't play Monopoly.
Yeah.
Because what we mean is there are so many other better games
Yes,
that don't take as long,
absolutely.
that are easier to understand,
Yes.
and everyone can enjoy.
Yes.
But there wasn't back then as much.
No, there wasn't. But from Monopoly, I tried to find other games that were kind of give a similar vibe. So but there was a few out there. Like Game of Life was one that people like to sort of venture into, and I remember.
I've never played it. But
Go for
we've got
Broke
that.
as well.
Go for Broke.
Go for Broke.
Now, that's the one that instantly come to my mind because I love the premise of you start with £1 million and you've just got to lose it.
Yeah.
So you're just betting
Bruce's
on
Millions.
Yeah, you're basically betting on horse races and you're just trying to spaff this money as quick as. I quite like that. It's a bit different, wasn't it?
It was good. Yeah, I reckon even today, I think with that, there's no one has brought a game out where you have to get rid of all your money, and no one's ever done that again. I suppose in some ways, it's kind of almost unique.
Yeah, I think it was quite unique. I think it took the game of life and then spun it on its head.
Yeah,
she just went, all right, okay,
let's do this, but in reverse. Yeah.
But it was quite cool.
Yeah, I mean, Game of Life. The modern game that springs to my mind is The Pursuit of Happiness, which I never remember who made the game, but it came out 2012, 2013, something like that. It was originally kickstarted where you're going through the life of yourself and you pick your education, whether you get married, so on and so forth. But I personally didn't like it. I think a lot of people did like it, but it wasn't for me. Yeah. Again, trying to find that kind of game that had that kind of unique kind of play style where you're going through your life. Pursuit of Happiness.
Talking about Monopoly Killer back in the day, and it just popped in my head. Like, it's quite nice having this conversation because I'm literally in the 80s right now. You know, Thriller's on, and Thanks. But the game that I always thought was always superior to Monopoly, even back then, was a game called Hotel. And I think that was an MB Games. I might be wrong.
Hotel.
Yeah, and it's literally, you have the road that goes around, has spaces on the side, and you have these hotels that are themed around kind of different stereotypical hotels, if they would be in Australia or New York or Japan or whatever. I always remember the Japan's like Fujiyama, and the Enterprise was like the big skyscrapers, and you literally would go around, you'd buy the plot of land where the hotel would be, and then you can build the buildings, and there were proper chunky 3D hotel pieces that you go, right, building one, bang.
Not Hotel Tycoon?
That's the remake.
Oh, okay, so it's of the same premise.
Same premise. I've got Hotel Tycoon, actually.
Yeah.
And then you buy like the facilities of the hotel, which is like I don't know, it's like a card that slots around the hotel. So visually, it's very, very appealing. Yeah, that's it. So very, very appealing. So as you kind of build this board up with all these miniatures, I suppose they are miniatures, but these things that are on there, and then you put entrances on the front of the road, so when people land on them, then they will stay for the night. So it has that Monopoly-esque feel.
Yeah. Property
collection.
We researched this before the episode,
but
because your memory of
no, it's just
that's
you talking,
very
it's
good.
Just bringing out game memories.
You mentioned Fujiyama as being one of the company. Yeah,
it's because it's on the advert. You went, I want to stay in the Fujiyama, and I remember it. I just remembered the advert. Like
this is really interesting, isn't it? Like that memory is so seared into your brain.
I was 5 or something.
Wow.
And I still remember the Fujiyama Hotel from a game 1985 or whatever.
1974 it originally came out.
Was it that old?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I know you're not that old.
No. Born in 81. So, but my neighbours had it.
Yeah.
We used to be friends with our neighbours, and I wanted to play it all the time. But yeah, that I always thought is better than Monopoly. Although it was kind of the same thing. You roll dice, you go around the board.
I mean, you look at it, how it looks like. That came out in 1974. They read it. It looks really good for its age.
The little models are actually quite impressive, aren't
It's
they?
more appealing, I think, to the eye. And I think when you look at games like, Monopoly, you look at the board and go, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then you look at Hotel and you go, wow.
Yeah. It reminds me of High Rise. High Rise is a modern board game that came out. Yeah, it's got like those kind of modern skyscrapers and rolling heights of it as well.
Loved it. And sorry, I just had to go on a bit.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
Something that's kind of the opposite to that, where the pieces are the most basic and just so boring, it's not even true, is Risk.
Yeah.
Another total classic. Curly really loved. This was probably one of the first games that I remember as playing before we were into games. Illuminati was one of them, the Steve Jackson game.
Yes.
We had that. We used to have like Illuminati nights where loads of us would play. Risk. I think Curly had the Lord of the Rings version.
Yeah.
He had the regular version too.
I think he had 2 versions. He had one that he played with and one he kept.
Well, we had to. Yeah,
they never opened.
They used to be kept
and he
underneath.
still got it.
We have got them. We've got them.
Backup copy.
They used to be underneath the
outside.
stairs in one of the houses that we lived in. I distinctly remember it. But the pieces in that, how boring! A little prongy triangle thing.
3-pointed triangle thing.
I mean, they could have done so much more with that, but it's got staying power, hasn't it? That game is still around.
Played today.
Risk.
It's still around. I think it made me think of like old men with like those little stick pusher kind of. They're like the games.
I remember the advert.
Like the games that Adrian
Global
likes. That kind of
War Room.
Yeah. But I guess you've got your tactics, haven't you? Hide out in Australia, go from there.
I've never played it.
Have you not?
Really?
No, never played it. I don't know why.
It's like I always say that Game of Thrones is like Risk on steroids.
Yeah.
And you know how that plays.
Oh yeah.
So bring that down to a much more scaled version, and it's not as tight, and it's entirely luck-based.
Random.
It's more random. Yeah.
But it can last for an entire day, week, year, whatever you want.
I would rather sit on a cactus. I mean, it's got its place, and I have to be in the mood. I have to be in the mood.
Would I play it now? Absolutely not.
I probably one of the themed ones, and maybe Lord of the Rings. I did have the Star Wars ones, the prequel one and the sequel trilogy one. They had one of each go out.
Yeah.
I had those, and it has its place. And without Risk, I think you wouldn't have other games like
It's
Games.
important.
It's very,
Absolutely.
It is important.
Yeah.
Area control mechanics started with the game like Risk or
Yeah.
Axis and Allies, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Without it, I wouldn't have Rebellion, would I? Star Wars Rebellion.
No,
So
no.
thank you, Risk.
Yeah.
Would TI, would Twilight
not.
Imperium still exist as it does? You
Probably
know. So yeah, it does. It's very, very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
So, what game, Bex, from your childhood would you never ever touch again with a barge pole, and why? So here they are. Here is your games from your childhood on the table.
Yeah. I have to be honest, Scrabble.
Oh, that one
Really?
hurts. That one actually
Do you
hurts.
know why? Do you know why?
It's a stinger.
Yeah, it is
Do
a
you know
stinger.
why? Because
I hate words.
no, it's the absolute opposite. Absolute opposite. So, I'm not going to say I'm the most eloquent of eloquent people.
Don't put yourself down.
I don't think any of us are.
But
Carry on.
I like words. I like linguistics. I can think of some really good ones, and they score crap, and I get livid. And you can have a 2-letter whatever key,
Was it
whatever
QI?
QI,
Yeah.
right?
It's in the dictionary. It's in the dictionary account.
And that is just bollow to me. It makes me angry. And I have played the words with friends. I've played the Scrabble. Lovely. And you just have to know a handful. And we can all do that. It's not clever. It's not big. It's not clever. 5 words that you know. You didn't think I was going to get this, did you?
I'm loving it. I'm loving every bit of this
you
now.
just
Scrabble
have
rant.
5 words that are not. Yes, they're real words, sure, but you don't use them.
Yeah.
Why does that score more than some really fancy pants, la-di-da word that I can think of? That
Someone will know the answer to this.
So you pose a very good
it
point.
makes me
It's not-
cross,
it's
which
not-
is why I want to play bananagrams instead.
Yeah.
Because that's about how many words do you know, how many words can you get out, rather than...
Or like Boggle.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
I'd
Boggle.
much rather play that,
Yeah.
Scrabble, and, it makes me sad because my mum really liked it, and I wanted to like it, and I want to still like it. It's sort of in honour of her.
Yeah.
But I don't like it because of exactly that. It's all about, do you know the secret
It's like your
Scrabble words?
It's like you're gamifying words in a way
Yeah.
to get points,
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah,
It
like you
should
say.
be about.
Yeah.
It should be about your vocabulary. It should
Yeah.
be about knowing these really kind of obscure words
Yeah.
that nobody else knows.
Yeah.
Paperback's a good one for an alternative to Scrabble.
I
Paperback.
heard good things about that.
Yeah, is it Tim Fowler's game?
Yeah, it is.
It's like a deck builder, but for words.
Okay,
So you start off with certain letters,
more
and then
invested than
you
that.
buy other letters to chain up words together. It's really good. Comes
it-
in a little box. It's nice.
It should be something I'm interested in with Scrabble. Like, it's got the things, score points, beat someone else by how many, but it's not about your knowledge of words, and that
No.
really gets.
I get that.
my
That makes,
goat.
you posed a very good point there. I don't get a chance to play Scrabble often. Vicky's not a big fan of Scrabble. And it's
I'd
not-
play. To be fair, I would play it.
Yeah,
even today.
I'd play it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
I
would
was-
not put me off.
But I understand why you wouldn't. I
yeah.
would totally get that.
I never really
get
thought about it in that
that.
way.
No. You posed a very good point.
I probably, if I played it now, I'd probably go, yeah. I'd
I
probably
mean,
find
I'd
that
still
same
have
thing.
the board because I can't get rid of it. My mum bought it for me many, many years ago, so I will always have it.
There's some really nice sets out there. For
Yeah,
Scrabble.
there are.
Really
I mean,
nice. Some of the
people
wooden
spend a
ones.
lot of money. There's, world championships and stuff, isn't there? People really get into it, and good.
There's one on a
Good.
Lazy Susan that spins around. It's quite
that
quite
sounds
nice. But it's still the same game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not for me.
No, fair play. Japles, what
I
about you?
mean, mine's the obvious answer, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, it has to be. I can't think of any of the old games.
Would you actually not play it again?
No, I've refused.
You'd
And
refu-
I
you'd
feel
refuse to
bad
play it?
about this, right? I do feel genuinely bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I got a counter argument for you.
yeah, I've been to a New Year's Eve party about 5 years ago at my sister-in-law's, and they were like, "Yeah, should we play Monopoly?" And I was just like, and like the snob in me was just going, "Oh, no, I don't want to play this." And I kind of, I feel bad. I do feel bad. Like I still want to play it.
Yeah.
I was like, can we play like anything else?
Put your chance deck away!
And it's like, let's play this instead. And I had
Yeah,
alternatives.
yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't like I'm flat refusing to play it, but let's play these things. I've got loads of games that honestly you'll love these, and we did, and they did. They loved it, and they ended up buying. I think Viticulture was one, and ended up buying it.
Oh, nice.
But
Well, waffle then. No, it's fine. It's
as we know,
fine.
Becky hates
It's a
it.
fine game. It's just not for me.
Yes.
You're not a big fan of it, Miss
She doesn't like. Don't get her on started. She'll
I
let
didn't
us
know. I
struggle
didn't
then.
know this.
No, don't get started. We do not have the minutes.
Yeah, let's just not go there. Blush wine.
Blush rant. Blushgate.
Okay, no, I say no more. I understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, I think for me it has to be that, because any of the other game, the Bloodbowls, the HeroQuests, the Space Crusades, the Lost Valley of the Dinosaurs, I would play any of those again. But probably for nostalgia reasons. But Monopoly I wouldn't play for nostalgia reasons or any reasons.
But what's the main reason why you wouldn't play Monopoly?
I think it's the time investment for what you get out of it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's like...
What about if you're playing it properly with the proper rules?
And there's my counter argument.
Is that your thing?
Yeah,
because people don't.
No, they do this free parking where the money piles up in the middle of rules.
The more money that's in the game of Monopoly, the longer it lasts.
And I think if I was to be like, if there's kids around the table and they're like, "Can we play this?" and I'd play it.
Yeah,
of course I would. I'm not horrible. And, it's like, no,
you're a monster, Uncle James.
You should play Monopoly with us. I would, absolutely, but I think it's just the game out of all of the games where I would try and back away from.
Yeah,
if I could. And end of the day, if I'm playing a game,
I would play it in its standard format.
So you auction off the places
every move,
because you can finish a game in less than an hour.
It's true, actually. It is.
You play it in its standard rule format. It's when you double go, when you land on go, you double it, or when you don't auction off properties, or you don't claim rent if you're in jail.
Yes.
Which is my biggest bugbear. Those are the things, or all the middle money, which is stupid.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Is it every time you pay a
fine, it goes in the middle, and then if you land on free parking, you get it. Do you know what the most safest place is on the Monopoly board? Do you know?
Is it jail?
It's jail. Jail is the safest place you can be.
Yeah.
It's mad. How can that work as a mechanic? How can that work?
It's bullshit.
I'm in jail and I'm loving life. No, it's jail.
Has any other game had so many iterations of it?
Probably not.
Absolutely none.
You've got to respect it.
Yeah.
This reminds me, right? I had a couple of weeks ago, I had a message from Cots for Tots. Cots for Tots, we love you. Obviously, they are
100%.
Absolutely, we love you. Because we send our money to you from the board game marathon. And they said to me, when promoting the next mini marathon, which is happening in a month's time, they said, "Are you playing the Bristol version of Monopoly there?" How about no?
That's right, no.
No, sorry.
It's got a dark history, hasn't it, the board game?
It does.
Well, it was meant to
originally
be
the neighbours game.
It was meant to be as a kind of a
anti.
Yeah, this is what will happen if
anti-corporate.
Yeah.
And then get what happened? The game design got stolen and then turned into a corporate machine and rolled the damn game out, and made lots of money on it.
Yeah.
And poor, I can't remember, it's a female, wasn't it? It's the lady
who designed it.
It was. Probably got nothing for it, but. Yeah, mad.
And let's not talk about Hasbro.
Oh, it is. So yeah, no, I think it's the obvious answer for me, but I think it is what it is.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I would play it again.
You would play it?
I would play it again. Because if it was played in the because I'm thinking about my children and and based on where I was when I was 5, 6, 7, 8 growing up, it was a big deal. Monopoly was a big deal. So if I had to kind of pass some of that nostalgia down to my children, and my children are of that age, I would. I have no problems in doing that. However, there are other games that I did play as a kid where I probably would, like Connect 4. Oh my god, Connect 4 is so boring.
I don't mind it.
It's so boring.
I played it with Shell at a wedding recently. They had a Connect 4 out on the lawn game.
Oh, the lawn one. Yeah, that's not so bad.
And I was just, had a beer and was playing Connect 4. That was alright.
But that's okay. But actually, getting out the now Hasbro version of Connect 4, which my kids have, and go, Daddy, would you want to play this? And I said, I'd rather go and run into traffic, son. But as it's you, go on.
Do it.
But I Connect 4 probably for me. I can't stand the game anymore.
Yeah.
I played it to death and I've had enough of it. But it has its place. I understand. Don't Big Potato make their own version with tiles? Can't remember what it was called now. Just 2, just 4 might be cool.
Is that the way it comes in like a stacked thing?
It's like on a stacked rack.
Yeah. And you can literally take it outdoors with you.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just plastic.
You just literally So they did, and I quite like that because it's like a travel version of it. I quite like that, but as its standard format, Connect 4 is probably not for me anymore. I'm done with it.
Do you know what I find really hard to play, and it's still a child's game now? Pop-up pirate.
I'm with you.
Do you know what?
What's
that
a pile of
pressure.
shit?
No, it's not that.
Oh, I hate it.
It's the tension of the. I can't put putting the sword in the thing. It's gonna.
Like,
I can't
no
bear
more.
that.
But if you were stabbed with a fork, with a knife or a sword like that, you'd jump in the air too.
I would.
Pirate.
Do you know what? There was a kid. I did love it, but I hated that. I almost didn't want to play. It was
A bit like Buckaroo, those kind of games.
Yeah.
Buckaroo was only good for when you could put your fingers in your mouth and you tried to say the word. Buckaroo. That was it. Because it sounded like a naughty word.
No, I never did that.
Did you not?
No,
Just me.
Never did that.
Pop-up pirate. Yeah, my kids love pop-up pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids had that. As
Yeah.
Well. Yeah.
Bonus points if you remember who made it.
Can't honestly remember.
It was Tommy.
Tommy. Yes, it
Tommy
was.
made pop-up.
It was Tommy. You're right.
But they never really made any other iterations of it because you can't really, can you? It's
No.
just a barrel with a pirate in the
Yeah.
top.
What, with the expansion, you mean?
Well, no.
The pirate ship expansion.
That would be great. That would be great. I'm in.
Two pop-up pirates fighting each other.
Have it, but have like cannons on the sun. As soon as he launches up in the air, he'll try and shoot you down. Yeah.
Now I'm in.
One game I couldn't play anymore, and that would be Twister because I'm too old.
You know what? I played this
reach it.
recently, fairly
Did you?
recently. Yeah, I did. We had a
Were you limber?
games.
Did you stretch beforehand?
Nope. We had a we had a games day at home for the kids, and they picked all the games. And it might have been around Christmas. Twister came out. Thought, yeah, I got this. And the only times I played Twister before then was at drunk parties when I was in my 20s, which was a lot more
Was
fun.
it the like sexy Twister?
Sexy Twister,
Yeah. We've all played sexy.
This
Twister.
was not
I
Sexy
wouldn't know
Twister.
what that is.
This was not Sexy Twister. This is Twister with your kids being quite, in your middle ages and
aching.
Everything hurts.
oh my god! The next day I couldn't walk. Like my thighs, legs, everything was burning and aching. I felt like I'd gone to the gym for about 7 hours. It was ridiculous. Honestly, ridiculous. I couldn't go up the stairs without going.
My back is twinging just listening to you.
Honestly.
This is my idea of a
It sounds like a
complete
yoga
car
session.
crash.
Sounds like a
It
yoga
was,
session.
'cause You're doing a lot of lunges, aren't you, and a squats, and you're in weird positions.
Yeah.
Kids had a great time though. Twister.
I think my kids would love that,
Yeah.
but it's not for me. No. I think you might be right there. I think Twister might actually be mine. I don't think I could do it anymore. So, is there any games from the past that you feel have made an impact in your tastes and preferences in today's board gaming? Bex, what do you reckon?
Well, the only game that I can think of playing that sort of, I mean, it wasn't a child, but yeah, this game of Illuminati that I bought from a comic book shop that I used to work next door to.
It wasn't Crackers, was it?
It was Crackers.
It was
yeah.
Crackers?
Yeah, of course it was Crackers. Yeah. So I
Shout
bought
out
that
to
from,
Crackers.
Yeah, I bought that from Crackers in... It was circa,
The same guy that ran it.
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, Tony, yeah.
I used to work for his brother next door. Anyway,
Hey,
that's an
Tony.
aside.
If you listen.
Yeah, so I bought I bought Illuminati from comic book shop in Taunton, Crackers, and it was an event. Like, people would come round for that game. It was in the time when I had probably just left home, so we had the party house because we were one of the first of our friend group to not live with our parents. So then your house becomes party house.
Yeah.
And we played Illuminati loads and loads, and it seemed quite, I don't know, not quite risque, but it's a game where it's not, Monopoly. It isn't something that is it's quite, these, I remember one of the cards was something like motorcycle gangs owned something. It was quite
conspiracy.
Silly. It felt it felt quite
shady.
and it felt kind of like, this is so alternative, which is at the time of your life when you think you're very, very alternative and different, just like everybody else who's alternative and different.
I thought that when I bought the Dick Tracy board game. Turns out I wasn't, and it was really shit. You remember that one?
Tracy. Just forgot about Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy board game. That was bad. Sorry, Beck.
No,
Sorry.
that's it. But it was what I've been trying to recreate is that idea that a game is an event. People come round with the sole purpose of getting together to play a game.
Yeah.
It's a social thing. Yeah, absolutely. It's why I love doing it. I'm sure everyone else is the same, right? J-Pulse.
So I think the game, I think that kind of springs to my mind as the one that kind of lifted the bonnet of, wow, the art of the possible. I think it probably was Bloodbowl.
I never played it when I was
Because
younger.
I think it's the fact that when you look at the box, you think this looks cool as F, right? There's basically orcs and dudes just scrapping on the front, and
That's probably why. I've never played it.
it looks
Probably put
cool.
off by that.
It just looks cool, and it's American football, but you kill each other. Okay, yeah, I'm in. Right, I'm in. And then you look for the rule book, and the rule book's full of awesome artwork, and you just thumbing through, and you go, oh, this is what's great. And you're learning about all the different kind of teams and stuff. This is before you even read the rules. And then you go, oh my god, there's rules. There's a lot of rules. There's lots of tables and lots of things to reference, and then when you kind of get through that experience, and then you're playing it, and for me, that excitement of learning at the time of quite a complex game and achieving the fact that actually I can get to the other side of that and enjoy that complexity. It might be kind of one of the reasons why I enjoy learning, maybe, because I love learning games, as you all know. I love that process of box, open, pop, rulebook, organise, play through before anyone even comes around.
It's a new world, isn't it? What you're opening up is the possibility of a new
And the other game that's kind of adjacent to that at the time as a kid was Advanced HeroQuest.
Yeah.
Which I never had played and never got to the table, but I always managed to kind of get the game out and read through the book and get excited about the possibilities of, oh, this would be awesome if we could do it. Never quite kind of happened, really, for whatever reason. Grew up and life and stuff like that. So I think that whole process of going through, learning something quite complicated and feeling like I could overcome that and get to the other side and go, yeah, this all makes sense to me. And don't get me wrong, I love the social side of board gaming, and I think the games that I had with me and my brother was all I had access to at the time. And I think actually a lot of the games we were playing, I'm not sure, like my friends at the time who were playing maybe the Cluedos and the Monopolies, if I had unleashed Bloodbowl, might have blown them up.
What the hell is this?
I think we probably tried a few times, but Bloodbowl being a 1v1 anyway.
But then some people you recruit and they'll just go, oh yeah, I'm up for this. It's great. And you've got them then. And then some people are like, do you know what, now I'm all right.
No,
and that's like today.
Yeah, it's no different, is it?
No.
And I think that's had a lasting impact. It must have done, and maybe it lay dormant for a long time because I had quite a big board gaming surge as a child and early kind of teens, and then it kind of went away just as secondary school kicks in and hormones kick in, and then you leave home and then you're doing this and you're doing that, and
I think for me mine is a blend of both of yours, really. I remember, like yourself, kind of not falling out of love with board gaming, but kind of just life gets in the way when you get to a teenager and emotions run high, and you kind of you discover women, and life just changes, doesn't it? Until you kind of get older. But then I remember sort of getting to my sort of early 20s, and me and the wife getting together, and board gaming did sort of come back in my life, where it was more like kind of the Hasbro kind of classics used to sort of come in again. It's like, oh, this is what I used to do from my childhood. So I can see that these things from my childhood had an impact. So they sort of came back in my 20s, and a game that was that strangely is you can still buy now, was pivotal in how my brain kind of went, yes, do you know what, I really like this, let's see if I can find something else. And this is where it ties in with you, Bex. Is a game called The Cube, based on the ITV TV series.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Welcome to the Cube.
Yeah, so it was 9 lives remaining. It was, it was the Cube. Now, the reason why the Cube board game was significant is because we bought it, and rather than just playing it as a couple or whatever, and you had like these physical challenges, like in the TV series where you had to like get a ball in a cup or something.
Yeah, to like bounce it 3 times into a small thimble.
Yes, yeah. But we used to get friends around, and we would say, look, here's this. Everyone would chuck in £10 into the pot, and the person who wins the night gets the pot. And we'd do that.
Oh, nice.
And we used to do it all the time, and it was great fun. And it was like, well, do you know what? I'm playing a board game, kind of, but it's more social.
It's an event,
it's the event.
It?
It's an event. It was definitely an event. People would come around. It'd be like a house full of like about 15 of us playing this silly game, but someone would walk home with a cash pot, and everyone would be like, no, but they'd be like, yeah, it was great. It was great fun, and it was good. And I would put on the sound effects from the TV series, and we'd have a good laugh. And it was from that moment on, I went, do you know what? I'm enjoying this social thing. I'm enjoying playing a board game of some sorts. Let's try and visit something else that maybe is a little bit more advanced, a bit more, more crunchy, and go from there.
Yeah.
And there from that moment, Agricola was
okay.
Agricola came into my
Okay.
life, and Civilization, the board game, and Gears of War, and it adapted from there. Why not? But that was kind of a pivotal point for me. But the social side of it is what is important. I think will always kind of stay, because it's the most important part of board gaming for me. So, peeps, would you rather? I got a good one for you here. Here it comes. Would you rather go back and bring all the classic games from your childhood to your adult life, or take games back from now to the past to your child self? Let's discuss.
There's a morality thing here.
Staples, I'm going to you.
There's an education thing. There's like, could I handle it?
That's the big thing, isn't it?
I can't handle it now. I couldn't handle it as a kid.
So,
Or I'd have another 20 years of practice. I'd be a master by now.
thing is, right?
True, yeah.
The thing is, I've got to look at my own kids. This is my barometer, right? When I was a kid, we had access to the games that we had access to. That's what we played, right? And I look at my children, and they've got access to the games I've got now.
Yeah.
Okay. And it astonishes me how a 7, 8, 9-year-old can pick up some of these games, and I'm like, and not just pick them up, but actually just boss them as well.
Yeah.
How the hell?
Yeah. That's
And
a good point. Yeah.
So would I have been able to do that at that age, having access to that? Who knows? Different people. Right.
I'm currently having a word with my 9-year-old self and go, come on, you dumbass!
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably be better at them then than I am now. I think I've got thicker as I've got older.
But then you could say that about
what you mean.
'cause, languages. Knowing for a while that you obviously are also you study languages now, but they say that when you're a child that you can learn languages easier than if you are an adult, learning an instrument as well.
Yeah.
So give an 8-year-old an acronym and just go learn that yourself. Come back to me and tell me what your interpretation. Would they be able to do it?
I'd be better at them then, definitely. I'm almost sure about that because my dedication levels back then were so much better than they are now, and the time factor. I'd be so much better at games now.
You have a lot of modern day distractions now today.
Well, just being an adult, isn't it? Having to go to work and that kind of crap.
Darn that work thing.
I think thinking about it, pondering it, it's a good one, this. But I wouldn't take the games I've got now to my past self. No. Because I don't think I'd appreciate them like I do now. Because they'll be probably regarded as the retro, old, nostalgic feeling. Even though actually mechanically they're the same. I quite like the fact that that's in the past. That was like the past thing. This is what I've got now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to be able to
And jade the lines between the two.
Yeah, it's kind of a selfish, insular kind of thing.
No, I think it's a good point.
But yeah, and what was it? You
So either go back and bring all your classic games from your childhood to your adult life,
yeah. Oh, okay.
or take games from now back to the past to your child.
Yeah, I'd bring some of the history back. Like Last Valley of the Dinosaurs. Let's set it up. Let's do it.
I never played that, but I played Dizzy Dinosaurs. Remember that one? You remember that one? You had the green dinosaur, and you used to wind that bastard up and you chuck him down, and then he'd go around all over the place like, I don't know, he's on something, and then he would hit over all the characters and then try and knock them off the board.
I've just thought of another historical awesome game. Key to the Kingdom. Do you not remember Key to the Kingdom?
Which one out?
Crossbow and catapult.
Yeah.
Crossbow and catapult.
That's a great game.
Crossbows and catapult.
You can still get that now.
I never played it, but Curly raves about it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Key to the Kingdom.
Yeah, you jump through whirlpools and it opens the board up like a book. And then, I think they did a reprint on it. No.
I didn't play those kind of games when I was a kid, so I definitely take games now, back then.
So you could be better at them.
Well, not just that, I think I would be better at them. Even if I forgot everything about them, I would definitely be better at them then than I am now.
That's just time and experience. Like
but I think I would have given them more time. I would have studied them, and I would have, I think learnt how it works, and that would have only improved my brain for now.
Yeah, for me, definitely, I would bring the childhood games back. There's some classics in there, isn't there? I remember playing Frustration. Obviously, it's Ludo, isn't it? With the Pop-O-Matic. Pop-O-Matic, which then got changed to a Slam-O-Matic.
Yeah, it did.
Hasbro, what you doing? But Pop-O-Matic was what it was all about.
Yeah.
You never lost your dice with that, did you?
You never lost it, but it was so therapeutic. But then don't hit it too hard, the pieces come out, and that was more frustrating. That's why they called it Frustration. So let's get on to our penultimate turn. So, folks, what's coming up? What have we got round the corner? Bex?
Well, I want to get another game of Septima in because I've been thinking about it a lot. And I still need to get these games off my shelf of shame.
What's on your shelf of shame?
So there's still Photosynthesis.
Trees.
Mm-hmm.
Trees.
Nice. Yeah, Dice Hospital, but then I'm off work now, so I don't want to be doing that, do I?
No.
Dude, it's good.
Can you play the theme tune of Casualty in the background while playing it? That's what you
need. Can you start the game of Dice Hospital with some unrelated person who's just going about their daily life and then an accident's about to happen?
And then you have to scream out, Charlie Fairhead!
And then they get intubated at the wrong end of a tube, and I'll be able to no, that's not how it's done.
That's not how it's done. Yeah.
So Dice Hospital.
Did you get the expansion pack with the 3D ambulances?
No, I bought it.
The pink baby dice.
Yeah, no, I didn't want the maternity expansion. No, I bought it at the first UKGE. That was one of my massive, huge, my arms are going to fall off stack of purchases.
Such a happy Becky.
I was living my best life then, wasn't I? Yeah, that's the two main ones I actually want to get played.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've got an interesting one that no one's going to play with me. It's called Stella, and it's part of the Dixit universe.
Oh, okay.
But I know that Curly isn't going to want to play that.
Yeah.
Do you own Dixit?
No. No, I bought it because I really liked the artwork. I mean, same. Did I research the game at all?
Nope.
No.
Did I? I mean, have I even played Dixit? No, I haven't. But this.
Do you like Mysterium?
I like Mysterium. I know Curly doesn't like.
I don't think you like Dixit.
I like Mysterium.
Yeah.
Again, for the artwork though, I like the game as well.
I think that's
And Obscurio is the same. Yeah, I've got both.
So yeah, I would like to play those. I would like to play, and I'm really looking forward to when Mycelia comes out. But that's ages, isn't it?
You've got a bit of a while to go there for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to. Well, I'm continuing my little Lacerda round robin. And recently I played the new Inventions, Age of Innovation, on Tabletopia recently, and then I managed to get Curly to play another Lacerda recently, Lisboa.
Well done.
Which was tough.
He really enjoyed it.
He was not looking forward to this.
He wasn't. He really wasn't.
He was like, "Oh, I've got this tomorrow. I've got this." And he turned up, and bless him, he watched a vid. He kind of knew the gist, and I talked him through kind of the economy of the game, and off we went. And it got to about 60-70% of the way in the game, and went, "Oh, I really like this." And then we all just relaxed.
It was just past the Curly test.
It's past the test. So it's just nice to find a Lacerda game that he likes, because now you can't just write them all off. Because you can't, can you? You don't like one, that's fair, and you give it a fair shake. But he likes this one, and it's like, ooh. Ooh. But now it's like the art of the possible. So will he like the weather machine? Will he like the vineyards? Will he like Kanban? Will he like... So yeah, I think it was quite nice to show him Lisboa as one of my favourites. And yeah,
he sounded surprised when I asked him, "Oh, did you like it?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did." And I was just as surprised as he sounded like he was.
Yeah.
But I need to give it a go. It's one I've not given a go.
Yeah,
I've tried a lot of Lacerdas, Gallerists,
get a game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just continuing that exploration and going around the game. So I think I'll be getting Vinhos in soon and.
Nice. I like trying to something like that.
Yeah, just keep playing them, mate.
Nice.
So, it's good fun.
Nice.
What about you?
Mini marathon.
Yes.
Yes, it's around the corner. Not long to go.
It literally will be this weekend.
So, 12 hours of board gaming goodness for Cots for Tots. Just a little taster session before our main event, which happens in August. So
Yeah.
we're going to get that going, and hopefully, well, it's capped at 100 tickets and we've nearly sold out, so it's pretty good.
Doing well, mate.
It's all good, yeah, it's all doing well.
There's such a lot of great things to look forward to this year, isn't there?
Mate, like this.
It's going to be amazing. It's got the mini marathon,
Yeah.
full board gaming,
Yeah. And the Devon ball gaming weekend. That's just in the first 2 months of
That's it,
2024.
that's it. UKGE.
Oh,
Yeah.
I loved last year's
Great.
UKG.
It's
It
going
was
to
so
be
fun.
great.
One of the highlights, I think.
Oh,
last year's.
it was so
Yeah,
fun.
we had such a laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
The actual main 24-hour marathon.
Yeah.
It's just going to be great. It's just great.
I don't want to think about that right now.
Well, no, but it's a nice thing in the future for me because I don't organise it. So I'm really looking forward to it.
It's nice for me once it's all done, and I get to look back and I get to see everybody in the hall, and it's a nice vibe, and it's really good, and it's a nice proud achievement.
Yeah.
But at least with the mini marathon, like it's just focus on the gaming, open gaming, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm
it's
hoping
just...
I can do that. I can get everybody in, and
Yeah.
I can have a go and game. The wife's working in the morning and finishes in the afternoon. I'm hoping I can go and grab her mid of the day and then bring her along as well, so I can get her involved because she's got involved in every marathon apart from last year's.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be nice to get her down as well. I've already got babysitter sorted, so. Yeah, should be
We'll
good.
be there.
Looking forward to it.
We're going to be there. So yeah, by the time this episode's released, I think it's this weekend. Literally on the Saturday.
Nice.
So yeah, if you still got tickets left, which I doubt by this
I
point,
will, but you never know. If not, inquire within.
if not, we'll keep the link on the show notes. If the link's not there, it means you ain't got any tickets.
No, that's it. That's it.
You'll hear all about it at some point.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah.
And with that, our final turn is wrapping up and victory points are about to be scored. Thanks everyone for listening. If you've enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe and review on your podcast player of choice. And we ask you to share the podcast with at least one other person who would enjoy this. Also, if you want to support the show and become a subscriber to help shape our future content, you can visit us on our page on Ko-fi, spelled K-O-F-I. And that's it from me with my first player runs. Thank you so much for listening, and I will pass the baton to Tambo.
Yeah, Tambo's first time being a first player.
Yes, then. I know I'm on one of those episodes, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's got some cool stuff coming up. So good new perspective, new discussions.
Looking forward to it. So we'll be back next time with another episode, but until then, whose turn is it?